these two have been going back and forth for quite some time now. Morrel has been very vocal about wanting to get at David. I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Tough to hit him, especially if you're coming off wide. You got to really pinpoint the shots with David. I don't know if Morrel has that in him. And I'm a sharpshooter. And David was able to, like, you know, with his length, be able to, like, block a lot of the shots I was throwing as well, too. So, I mean, you really got to set him up with them.
Experts have disclosed their choice between David Morrel and David Benavidez. The boxing world thrives on unending rumors about upcoming fights, and one fight that is creating a lot of buzz is the February 1, 2025, clash at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This eagerly awaited bout features two exceptional contenders in the super middleweight division, Benavidez and Morrel. What makes this fight so intriguing is that each fighter brings unique skills and styles to the ring, earning them elite status and loyal fan bases as the day draws near. Both fans and commentators are eager to hear the top sports leaders' perspectives. Both champions, Dmitry Bivol and Artur BBV, have shared their thoughts on the impending clash, providing a glimpse into their viewpoints. While they both expressed admiration for the opponents, their remarks were nuanced, highlighting their appreciation for the inherent unpredictability of boxing and the constantly changing dynamic. Albach of Snooze, the Sports DCS, shared a video on his Instagram a few hours ago. In the conversation, they talked about the impending bout between David Morrel and David Benavidez, although neither Artur BBV nor Dmitry Bivol seemed willing to make any firm predictions. Although Bivol, who has sparred with Benavidez in the past, acknowledged that he likes both fighters, he refrained to choose a clear winner. "I'm not interested in fighting David Morrel," Bivol clarified, taking the more impartial position on the subject, that he recognized Morrel's skill but added that he had heard excellent things about the boxer and believed the 1,109 KO fighter was a highly skilled fighter. "I will watch the battle when it takes place." Bivol went on to say he was more interested in seeing the fight play out than giving a definitive prediction. When questioned about the outcome of the fight, Artur BBV, who is undefeated at 21 with 20 knockouts, opted to stay impartial. I am aware that his response was unexpected. From the viewpoints of both champions, it is clear that David Morrel and David Benavidez provide quite different challenges. Bandera Roa, often known as the Monster, Benavidez introduces he is a strong opponent with a solid reputation due to his relentless offensive pressure, lightning-fast speed, and powerful physique. In contrast, Morrel is a highly accomplished Cuban fighter who is renowned for his poise and keen technical because of his remarkable ring intelligence. Acumen has received a lot of praise from both BBV and Bivol. In addition to evaluating the Benavidez versus morality, the combatants' ability to successfully execute their strategy when it counts most will determine how the battle turns out. With a rematch versus Artur BBV, Showdown Bivol and BBV explored important facets of their careers and the boxing world at large. Scheduled for Riyadh on February 22, 2025, Saudi Arabia, Bivol candidly discussed the challenges of winning and the fortitude needed to recover in the harsh world of boxing, where it doesn't matter what occurs but rather how we respond to it. As he considered the mental fortitude needed to overcome obstacles, Bivol emphasized the need of avoiding excuses, saying that doing so only weakens a warrior. If you have one excuse, then another, but if you don't have excuses, you must improve on whatever, he stated, emphasizing the dedication required to keep becoming better. In the midst of rumors regarding Canelo Alvarez's next opponent, the Russian boxer teased the possibility of a rematch with the unbeaten Alexander Usyk in the heavyweight class, even jokingly considering the idea of a future clash. However, the focus was on he is praised by Terence Crawford as one of his favorite fighters because he knows how to maximize his abilities. As the conversation progresses, several significant questions arise, such as whether David Morrel's technical skill will be overwhelmed by David Benavidez's relentless pressure. Bivol added that despite the weight and age difference, the
Benavidez, you sparred him, you know he's great, you're great.
Yeah.
He's fighting David Morrel. Who wins that one?
I didn't watch fights of David Morrel, but I heard about him a lot, that he's a very good fighter with Cuban boxing school. It's interesting. When this fight will happen, I will watch.
Okay, if you beat Artur, then and David wins, you and David. Is that option?
It's possible. We are the same weight class, of course, but I don't want to think about anybody.
True. Benavidez or Bivol, who wins? Benavidez and Morrel.
The other day you were in England with Roy Jones. You was praying with him. How was that? That was a very beautiful moment to see him just shooting out.
Как дела? Нормально.
Andrade was defeated by Benz's overwhelming stature and unbeatable physical superiority in the 6th round of the fight. Compared to Benavidez's 78, Morrel's reach is noticeably greater at 74, offering he had an edge against Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, who started his professional career at 154 pounds, only moved up to the 168-pound category in 2023. Prior to his fight with Benavidez, he had only made one appearance at that weight, defeating Dean Nicholson. Because he was a large, strong person who could absorb it, Andrade seemed to struggle with Benz's youth weight and reach, looking like a cruiserweight or light heavyweight versus a middleweight. He weighed a lot more than me, so Demetrius Andrade fought Hub TV about his defeat. To David Benavidez on November 25, 2023, he stated, "I can still make 168 because I felt the weight difference after that fight between Benavidez and Alexander Gasic at 175. When Benavidez wasn't the weight guy, he couldn't perform what he could." Andrade stated that he is now facing David Morrel in a solid matchup because the two men are of the same size. "I believe David Morrel is gifted, but I'm not sure whether he has the experience to defeat him. He's a big kid with speed, but his punches are a touch wild, which comes with experience." Benavidez, of course, had trouble in his 175-pound debut. He just survived a decision against Alexander Gasic on June 15 of last year after being outclassed in each round by the stronger opponent. His blows lacked the typical force at the higher weight. Victory probably would have won Andrade if he had been a more well-known boxer because of his more accurate and powerful blows. David's arms are lengthy. The Morrel is larger than I am. I'm a sharpshooter, and David was able to block a lot of my shots with his length, so you have to set him up with some clean walking trap shots. According to Jose Benavidez Sr., his son, the Mexican monster David Benavidez, will face WBA regular light heavyweight champion David Morrel on February 1, and you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. You might wonder why. Benavidez. The networks and fans were eager to see the Benavidez-Morrel showdown, and this high-stakes fight became necessary because the other possible matchups, such as facing Joshua Buatsi, were equally challenging the plan of Team Benavidez. Jose Benavidez Sr. claims that they took on the challenge to show fans that they are the top contenders at 175 just as they proved themselves when they ruled at 168. "We are here to tell the fans what they want to hear, and the Mexican monster is going to make history and be the best in the division. Naturally, we want the major fights," said to Jose Benavidez, Sr. of YSM Sports Media. "I think we need to keep performing and giving the audience what they want to see. We just need to be active if we want to be regarded as the fighters that never ducked or ran from anyone. The Canelo fight, the BBV fight, the Bivol fight, and the Z Ramirez bout are examples of this. Provide the battles that people want to watch." As Benavidez Sr. put it, "I think this is a tough fight that the fans want to see," adding that we have nothing to gain and everything down. Jose Sr. is wrong to think that battling will not benefit him in any way. "When we win, I promise that people will say, 'Oh, we knew David Morrel wasn't ready.' We got to keep testing ourselves, we got to give the fans what they wanted to make history, and we keep learning. Morrel fans will cheer Benavidez, and his popularity will increase as a result of this battle." Benavidez Sr.'s last quarter of 2024 was an exciting period in boxing, culminating in the historic October bout between Dimitri Bivol and Artur Benavidez 2025, with David Benavidez preparing to take on David Morrel in a bout that has fans giddy. The sport is set to continue its momentum. The excitement reaches a fever pitch as famous 5-division champion Floyd Mayweather builds anticipation for the eagerly anticipated February 1st. Occasion Benavidez finished 2023 with a spectacular victory over Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade, but he was unable to get a fight against Canelo Alvarez. In an attempt to further his career, he moved to the light heavyweight division and faced Alexander Gasic. Although his performance wasn't up to par, he still won by unanimous decision, earning the interim title. Originally, he was supposed to face the winner of the Bivol vs BBV fight, But since a rematch is imminent, Benavidez chose to take on the next big challenge at age 26. The left-handed fighter had been the secondary WBA super middleweight champion for a number of years before deciding to advance to the light heavyweight class in August, following in Benavidez's footsteps. His debut in the new weight class was a disappointment, as he defeated RJ Kalaj by unanimous decision. Who comes out? A victory in this fight will bolster their case for a future showdown with the victor of the BBV vs. Bivol rematch, should that match take place.